Green gram dosa or Pesarattu is a classic of Andhra in India. It's a dosa that's generally served with ginger chutney, coconut chutneys, and gunpowder podi. It's made with whole green gram, which gives it its distinctive green color and makes it higher in protein than other dosas. So when you buy a green gram, ensure that it's whole green gram with the skin on. You will also need a little bit of split chana dal and some raw rice to prepare this. You can use sona masuri, kolam. If you don't have these, you can use just kurol basmati. Soak the green gram overnight in an excess of water. The chana dal and rice can be soaked together for 8 hours or overnight. Once you drain these two, keep them separate. Make sure you drain them completely, wash them again and drain them out. When you begin grinding them, there mustn't be too much liquid in either of these. Too much liquid when you begin grinding makes the grains slip on the blades and you don't get a smooth batter. Add the water a little at a time as required to facilitate this grinding. Begin first by grinding the chana dal along with the rice. Grind to a very smooth grit-free batter. This takes patience and you will be grinding for at least 5 to 6 minutes before you get a smooth batter. In the US, you cannot use a regular food processor to do these. You need what is known as a chutney grinder to be able to get this kind of consistency, especially when you grind raw rice. Once you have got the raw rice and chana to the consistency you want, add your green gram to it as well as the spices in the recipe such as ginger and the ground cumin and some salt. Don't over salt because the accompaniments are quite salty. Grind this again to a very smooth batter. This will require 5 to 6 minutes of grinding. You will have to test again and again to see the thickness. You can add water a little bit at a time. Keep the batter thick because you can always thin it down later. The consistency of a Pesarattu batter is a little thinner than a pancake batter. So it's a little thicker than say a traditional rice dosa batter but thinner than an idli batter. If you can, use good quality freshly ground cumin. This adds a lot of punch to your Pesarattu. The batter you get will be very bubbly and thick, which is to be expected. Now add water and thin it down to the required consistency. When making dosas, be prepared that the first dosa may not turn out well. You will get the hang of what consistency of batter you need, what temperature the pan has to be. This is not unusual, it does happen often. Heat a flat, clean griddle on a high flame. Sprinkle water on it to ensure that it steams and evaporates quickly. This means your pan is ready. Do this a couple of times to temper your pan. Now pour about 3/4 cup of dosa batter into the center and using the bottom of your ladle or even a katori, slowly in concentric circles spread it around the pan to form a crepe. In a dosa, generally the center and the sides should be just a little bit thicker. What's in between tends to be a little bit thinner. While the dosa is still damp, sprinkle it with your onions and your green chilies. This way they will adhere to the dosa and they will not all fall out when you flip this dosa. Add some oil to the sides of the dosa and over the dosa and continue to cook this on a medium flame until the dosa is dry and ready to be flipped over. The bottom should be golden and crispy. Once you flipped it over, allow it to cook for a little bit longer. Flip it over again and then you can either just fold it over or you can fold it into a triangle or you can roll it, whatever is easiest for you. But the key to remember is serve it immediately. These dosas do not stay crisp for very long. You will find the recipes in Hindi as well as in English on my YouTube channel as well as at taradeshpande.in. Also recipes for various podis you can serve with this and chutneys as well. Enjoy Pesarattu. I'm sure once you make it, your family is going to just love it and you'll be making it again and again. This dish is vegan if it is prepared without ghee and vegetarian if you use ghee. Enjoy!